while these are storylines that we keep hearing that we keep seeing with these kind of kids that we've seen in movies before, the kids are not obnoxious, man.
No.
There's only one scene, and it ain't Sully's kids, it's some damn water kids.
Oh, the other boys.
Man, there was one thing I was like, this is criminal, what y'all did.
Oh, yeah. They trying to commit murder.
Yeah, I was like, look now, wait a minute.
They went on scot-free, too.
Listen, I know Jake is like a guest with these water people, but there was a moment I would have been like, what the f- wrong with your kids? Yeah. Hey, you need to get your kids, man. There was a moment I was like, damn, those kids, those some badass kids.
Yeah.
DTmerch.com is up, and we got plenty of stuff for it. We got all kind of stuff now, from mugs to coasters to stickers to caps, hoodies, and we got the shirt of the month. Don't forget Pixie. Pixie's going to be our shirt designed by Teresa Rockabirdie. It's going to be up for the rest of December. Avatar 2, way of the water, way of the water, children, way of the water. James Cameron knows the way of the water. Hey, thank you. Yeah, man, that is James Cameron right there. We all know that James Cameron loves that water. For a guy that makes movies about cats, he loves that water. He spent years just hanging out with the Titanic.
Sure did.
It's almost like he was trying to have sex with the Titanic or something. Just every time you saw his ass, he was getting in that pod or that bathysphere and just going underwater just to hang out in an old rusty ass sunken ship.
He sure was.
He sure was, man. James Cameron even started his career playing with fish.
Deadly. Piranha 2. It lives in the depths of the sea.
Oh, those piranhas, man. People forgot that James Cameron made Piranha 2. Or maybe you didn't. But James Cameron says, hey, say what you will about this movie. It is the best flying piranha movie ever. Yeah. Yeah, it's about piranhas that can... It's about piranhas that can fly.
Okay, I gotta see this one.
No, you do, man. Yeah, now that is one movie that we should definitely do a viewing party for. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this movie, Avatar 2. So it's no surprise that one of the most expensive movies ever made is about just hanging out in water.
Yep.
Yeah.
With some blue people. He says it will be the best water that you have ever seen.
Avatar, The Way of Water. Experience it in 3D.
Which we did.
I think that's the only way you can watch it in 3D.
Yeah, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to put them glasses back on, because I didn't think they were doing 3D anymore.
Me neither.
At the theater. But if anybody can make you put those glasses back on, it's going to be James Cameron. Avatar 2, if anybody remembers the first Avatar, well, you know that we were on the planet Pandora, and now we're going back to the planet Pandora to hang with the Sullys.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a whole family now.
They got a whole family now. Y'all remember old Jake Sully? Who converted to full Na'vi.
Yeah. Humans.
Well, he did. Cat. Yeah, my man went full Na'vi over here. And he made it with found himself a fine ass blue cat woman, made it with the Na'vi woman, Nateri, who's played, of course, by Zoe Saldana. And now he has a full litter of cats. And though they've been living in peace, they are always prepared for the worst. They're always prepared for war in some kind of way or another. And any kind, just prepare for any kind of threat that might arise. But mainly that threat coming in the form of the star people.
Yeah. What do they call them? The sky people?
The sky people. Here on Earth, we call them assholes. Yeah, man. Though they've been living in peace for a while, they always say you never know when that's going to stop. And of course, It's only a matter of time before the sky people return. And even though they've been living in harmony, finding love, and getting along with nature, the humans have returned to exploit the planet. The bigger threat comes in the form of of the Na'vi.
Na'vi.
Yeah, the biggest threat comes in the form of the Na'vi. One of them is a clone now.
Yes.
And not only they're a clone, but they are a very familiar villain that you might remember from the first movie. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But as you can see, peace doesn't last very long on Pandora, or else you wouldn't have a movie.
Yeah.
We just watching a bunch of blue cats sleeping all day.
Got to create conflict.
Yes, exactly. Now, I'm going to address the running time first. You know, the running time on this movie is 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, around that. I mean,
yeah.
if you include the credits, I guess, and they're hoping that you're going to stay around for the credits just to see all that beautiful water and imagery and whatnot.
Out of there.
You out of there. So the question for a lot of people is, did this need to be 3 hours and 10 minutes long? And I'm going to tell you, hell no. It did not need to be. Hell no, it did not need to be 3 hours and 10 minutes long. No movie needs to be 3 hours and 10 minutes long.
No movie needs to be that long.
Yeah, the majority of movies that we see today don't need to be 3 hours and 10 minutes long. Shit, as much as I love Wakanda Forever, I didn't need to be hanging out with them.
2 hours and 45 minutes?
I will tell you that. I don't know if this is just the ego thing with movies today or not, but you did not need to be there for 10 minutes. I'm just telling you that right now. Now, I'm not really coming in and making that a complaint. You know, the only reason why I say that they could possibly shave down this movie a little bit is because there are large sections in this film where it felt like James Cameron was just splashing in water, man. You know, but for 3 hours and 10 minutes, I will have to say that the pacing is very good.
Yes, that's one thing I told a critic friend of mine. I was like, this pacing is fast. It's moving.
Yeah, those 3 hours go by very well. Does it need to be 3 hours? No. Thank you.
But it feels kind of like Endgame a little bit. Like you don't feel the runtime.
No, you don't. No. And really, I wouldn't mind 3 hours and change if they were actually, filling that with story time. But honestly, they really are, and pun intended here, I guess, they really are just letting you kind of soak in all the beautiful imagery that they have right here, man. And it is gorgeous, man.
Oh my God!
It is, it is gorgeous. But with that 3 hours, I'm gonna tell you, I normally I can sit back and I can hold it. But I did, man. You saw me get up.
Go ahead, I saw you.
I got up and I had to go to the bathroom. Are you crazy? Because I made the mistake of drinking some, couple of glasses of water before I went to the movie, and I'm sitting up here watching all this water.
Say shit.
You goddamn right I had to go use the bathroom, man. I'm sitting up here watching all this water and the water. Let me just put it this way: if you wanted a quote from me about this movie, the water looks so beautiful it made me piss.
Oh, there you go.
The water looks so great I had to pee. That's my quote right there.
See, I'm proud of myself because I never got up once.
The water environments are beautiful, and they're even better with the 3D.
Yes.
I felt so immersed in this world right here, especially when because look, you're gonna hear about James Cameron talking about how it was absolutely, you damn right, it was necessary for me to film in water. This man had actors holding their breath for like 7 minutes.
I was wondering.
So he could get underwater motion capture. And yeah, man, it works. Everything feels so natural. Everything feels so immersive in here, man. There were parts where I was checking my clothes to see if I was wet.
Right. When they're doing that splashing and you're in 3D, like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, with the 3D, I mean, with the water, you know how it is when you have goggles on?
Yes.
When you're swimming and you just have the water just clearly, just bobbing up and down in front of you, waving in front of you. It kind of felt like that when you're wearing the 3D glasses. It felt like you were out here swimming with the Na'vi, man, and you were wearing goggles. That's why I got to give credit to James Cameron. If you want to spend time just playing in the water, just for about 15 minutes and ain't nothing else going on really, your excuse is they're training, but you're just hanging in there. You're just playing.
I know.
You're like a kid in a swimming pool. But
just the small details of the creatures in the water.
Yes.
Was almost like you were at an aquamarine. You were at Aqua World or something.
Yeah, SeaWorld.
SeaWorld. Aqua World. Same thing.
SeaWorld, yeah.
Wet World. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It was almost like you were at SeaWorld or an aquarium. You know, walking around looking at these creatures, man. They look so convincing.
Yes, very good attention to detail on all of them.
Like I said, the years that James Cameron went into filming this, getting right down to just filming underwater to get the physics correct. It really shows here. But like I said with the first Avatar, I thought that James Cameron world building was very good, and you know his world building skills continue to be on display here. I mean, I will say he's gotten better. He's gotten better at world building, man. I mean, you know, Pandora feels like I'm not gonna say, I can say real place, but it's more of a compliment if I say it feels like a natural place.
Yeah, it makes you want to go visit Pandora.
Yeah. I would say this too. This is the first time that I have seen a movie done with this frame rate. So when you watch this is movies are usually, when you see them, they're usually done with the 24 frames per second frame rate. And you know,
this one had to be like what? 60?
I think this was like 48 or could be 60.
Okay.
It might be 60.
They're moving smooth.
Yeah, see, that's the thing with this, man. I think either it's 48 frames per second or 60 frames per second. Somebody said 48 in the chat. Thank you very much.
So yeah, 48.
See, the reason why that movies do that is because it creates a motion blur. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what we associate with looking at. That's why video looks different from film, because film is able to really capture motion blur in ways that video was not able to do up until recently, you know.
Yeah,
but
now they both do it.
Yeah. And if you don't have that motion blur, things look like video. You know, that's why when people went to go see this movie right here,
can you promise that I will come back?
No.
he said no. That's why when people saw The Hobbit, Peter Jackson filmed this at 48 frames per second, and everybody complained, including myself, because everything looked fake. Mm-hmm. Everything, all the sets it looked like you were on the set and you were seeing how fake the sets were. Here, I think the difference is because you're dealing with mostly a CG world, except for the moments that he's like filming underwater and whatnot. You know, this is mostly a CG world, and it feels more real because of that. I guess the advantage of having this, maybe because you don't have that motion blur too much again, like you did in 24 frame per second rate movies. What it does is, unlike The Hobbit, where it's like, man, I'm here and this feels fake. Here it feels like, okay, this feels like video, and it feels like they went somewhere and shot something.
Yes.
And it felt like a real world. And again, I felt like either it felt like this truly existed, or it felt like this was this was something they shot on video and it was real, or it made me feel like I was there. I will say, and just to prepare you for, because people want to talk about how amazing this look, and it is. Now, for better or for worse, there are moments here where it does feel like a video game cutscene. And now it's a video game cutscene on the best PC you ever built. Yeah. You know, it's a video game cutscene that probably came out on the PlayStation 7 or something like that. Or this looks like images from, okay, so imagine, you know, you're at the store, you're at a, you know, electronics store, Best Buy, or even Walmart or something, and they got those 4K TVs that you can't afford yet. But they're set on the best display settings.
Yes.
And you watch it and the images are beautiful and you wish you could buy it, but you can't. That's what this kind of looks like.
Perfect.
And those are probably the better times it looks like that. But yeah, there are moments where it's just like, all right, if I had a complaint about the imagery here, as incredible as this looks, there are moments where it looked like it was out of a video game. It looked animated. All right, it didn't look real. It looked a little cartoonish, and it looked like it was something. It was a great video game, but it looked like something that was out of a video game.
Yeah.
A cutscene, as you say.
Yes.
I've been talking. What's your input here, man?
Look, I mean, like, I see how you have some issues with like how the visuals are, and to me, like, I don't know, I didn't really feel all the way like how you are. To me, they were like breathtaking to me, like. Just exploring this world, like exploring these this new tribe we get to meet and things in that nature. I was just like, holy crap. You could tell there's a lot of effort put into this movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I was blown away.
What I'm saying here is not really a criticism. I'm just saying, if anything, for all the praise that this movie is going to get, including praise that I'm applying to this film, it is noticeable when you go from these amazing scenes to these scenes that look like they are, again, something that is, the quality is a little bit maybe lower. And the quality, when I say quality is lower, for a movie like this, that's nothing.
No.
Quality might be lower. It's noticeable when you go to those video game cutscene images. But man, let me tell you something, that I'm not a big fan of 3D. Not a big fan of 3D at all.
Because I wear glasses, so I hate putting on the glasses.
Boy, those glasses, I don't know why or how, but they just add an extra weight, because I was wearing glasses too. And I came out with almost 2 extra holes in my nose, man, because my glasses were weighing so hard. Like, I had these dents right here.
Yeah.
And I thought they were permanent because they were so deep.
Nah, I usually hate wearing 3D glasses.
3D was such a trend that they were making movies in a 3D that didn't need them.
Oh, yeah.
And the 3D looked terrible.
Yeah.
And I hated that trend, man. So I haven't seen a movie in 3D for years, and I thought it was gone. But watching this, you could do movies like this in 3D. I'll let my glasses dig a hole in my nose until my nose falls off, man. I'll let it break my shit, man. I will, because I went to the bathroom, like I said.
Yes.
When I came back, I felt like I was walking into the screen.
Really?
Because the 3D was that good.
It comes out.
This is going to be a big statement right here. But me, when I walked back into the theater and I had to put my glasses back on, it felt like I could walk into the screen, and the 3D looked better than real life.
Did you keep trying to like take it off, put it back on?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, when I had to like lift my glasses to go find my seat, I was like, I don't want to come back here. I want to be in there. Now, we've been talking about the technical side of this. We've been talking about the images, the 3D. How's the story? So, with the first Avatar, they had to set up a lot. They had to set up the world. They had to set up these characters. Fortunately, with this movie, they don't have to do that so much. And the reason why I think that's a good thing for me is because in the first movie, I wasn't crazy about any of the characters.
As a lot of people were.
Yeah.
Nobody's really crazy about the characters.
Yeah. Shit, I thought Jake was stupid. I thought Jake was just a dumbass. Even when he went full Navi, I said, why are they letting him come in here?
This guy.
He gonna get all y'all killed, man. I thought Jake was just I thought Jake was a meathead, man. I thought he was just dumb. The villains were flat. Zoe Saldana and CCH Pounder and a few other people as a Navi, I thought that they were really good.
Yes.
But still, even with that, you didn't get a whole lot of scenes with emotion and drama with them. Most of it was with action and whatnot, which is fine. It's the kind of movie it is. But with this, I thought because they were able to not have to set up this world so much, now we get a chance to actually get into more character. And we do. And it's not the main characters from the last movie that we really get into for the most part. We'll talk about that. We'll talk more on that in a little bit. But it was the rest of the family, Jake's kids.
Yes, the kids.
The rest of the Sullys.
The Sullys.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, did I love them in the film.
The kid actors and the kid characters have way more character than the last people in the last movie.
Yes.
The last creatures in the last movie.
Yes. It's like they have a lot of emotion to them,
They do bring a lot of emotion.
Yes.
A lot better, more sincere emotion than I thought they did with Jake and what's her name? Zoe Saldana.
I think for me, it's like I can relate to these characters a lot more too.
Yeah,
But especially the kids.
well, they didn't have to set up things that there to just manipulate the audience. You know, they didn't set up some old Disney Pocahontas love story. You know, with this, I will say that, you know, I'm giving them credit for being more emotional. I'm giving them credit for, you know, coming in and having more character. But, you know, they still are typical movie kids and teens. You know, Jake made sure to have just enough kids to fill up every teen and kid storyline or subplot that you see in a movie.
He sure did.
Because he had a kid for each for each subplot. You know, he had that, like you see right here that he had this guy at the end right here.
2 sons.
Yeah, he had the 2 sons. He had the protective big brother.
Yes.
Standing next to him. You know, you had the scrappy little brother who's all angsty because, you know, Daddy don't like me as much as you. You know, why don't Daddy love me? You know, why Daddy so hard on me? He can never live up to Daddy's expectations, man.
Yes, like his big brother.
Like his big brother. Mm-hmm. You know, as far as some of the other characters here, you know, they got the cute little sister who's always getting caught.
Yes.
to work your emotions. Oh my God, not the little one, but she always has something cute and funny to say.
Yes.
They got, now here's something interesting that they do here, and I'm not going to tell you too much about what happens with this, but they got Sigourney Weaver who's back, and people saying, well, how'd she get back? I'm not going to say anything, but she is back as one of the Sully kids, man. She's the smart but melancholy big sister, trying to figure out where she fits in, because how she came into this world is a lot different from how everybody else came into it. Yeah. But Sigourney Weaver as the big sister here, man, she's really good. And it's almost, the only thing I would say about that character is that she's so smart and well-spoken and mature that she didn't seem like one of the kids.
I know, she seemed more like feel real.
Yeah, she seemed more like one of their aunties. You know, seeing these types, these subplots so many times, but really the emotion that these kids bring to these characters and the way they write these characters a little better, I thought that really helped out a lot and made me like the characters better than I liked the last movie.
I think they definitely, wrote the characters a lot better. And you're more attached to these characters in this movie than you are in the first.
The only weird thing about these kids is when they talk to each other, it's actually pretty cool how... It's pretty cool how they did transition from them speaking Na'vi to us understanding them in English. Yeah. They do it in a narrative way, and I'm not going to tell you how they do it. When you see the movie, it's actually pretty cool how they do it. It's convincing, but it is weird sometimes. Even then, the way they convince you that they can, like we can hear, that we can understand Na'vi, it's still weird hearing them use like modern slang. Like they keep talking to each other like, "Hey, bro." Hey, bro.
Yeah. I get your point there, but I don't know that for some reason didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me. It just took. Well, if I say bother, it's going to make it seem like I really was, didn't like the movie. It just took me out the movie a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, what you doing, bro? Hey, man. What do you do that for, bro? Come, let's go, bro. I was like, all right. Now, when you watch these kids. James Cameron has created almost with like the same, in the same way like the first Avatar. He's done something where he's created like a hybrid of a James Cameron movie and a Disney film.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
because some of the storylines here are kind of corny. I'll just say it. Now, one of the things that I didn't really. I'm not again. It didn't bother me to where I hate the movie or anything. I just thought that this could have been done better, man. With him making this hybrid between a James Cameron movie and like a a Disney movie, a Disney animated family film. Sometimes I'm amazed at the way it works, and we'll talk about the James Cameron moments later. But I'm impressed the way it works. But for the most part, there was one part here where I thought like, okay, this could go. There's a subplot here with a whale.
Oh my God.
And that feels...
they spent a lot of time with that whale.
Boy, that feels straight out of a Disney movie, and it does not completely work. First of all,
it really comes out of nowhere.
It does, yeah. And it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
The way now I'm going by the rules they set up. I'm just hearing what you said.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense at all. It comes out of nowhere. It completely does not make any sense at all. It doesn't completely make any sense. So you got one of Jake's kids, the scrappy little brother who bonds with this whale.
Who's a outcast.
Who's an outcast. But the thing is, why? Because the whole thing is that they're told that you are not. So you have the Na'vi who are different. They're the same species but different races. And you have the water Na'vi. They live a completely different way than the jungle Na'vi.
Yeah.
And they're told when they get there, they say, look, why are you coming here? Because there's this whole thing where you have Sully and his family looking for refuge. And you'll have to see the movie to figure out why. But they're told by the water Na'vi, they're like, why the hell y'all coming over here? You know nothing about water. Y'all gonna drown.
Yes.
They say you know nothing about culture. You know nothing about ways, including how to speak in their water language. But when my man starts hanging out with this whale, boy, they got a friendship. So they speaking like they've been buddies for years.
They're his best friends.
Like yeah, exactly. And I'm like, how did you learn to speak whale
so
like
fast?
That? So fast.
So fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they didn't teach him that.
No. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't have the whale in there because what it was, I believe that it was an unnecessary subplot. You know, it makes the movie longer than it needs to be, and it's really just setting up an action scene later.
Yeah.
And it just more reason to just play in the water. You know, you could have kept that whale. You could have had that same action scene we see later. It's actually kind of badass what they did later with this whale. But I don't think they needed it like this. I don't think they needed this subplot.
Yeah, they definitely could have took that subplot out, honestly, because the amount of time they actually spend on it, it's like, what, 20 minutes or something like that? It's like, yo, I could have took that part out.
Yeah. Like, this would be the perfect time to do a Babbel ad, you know, but I don't have one. But I tell you, the family dynamic works pretty well here. You know, I did like that. You know, I speaking of Sully, where I thought Sully was just kind of a dumbass in the last movie. Sully being a dad in this film he's so much. I like him better as a dad. He's smarter. Yeah. He's more responsible.
Yes.
You know, this character is not making these dumb decisions like he did in the last movie. And you know, and especially when the family has to, you know, come together to protect against these outside forces, and seeing how Sully has to like really plan and think ahead to keep his people alive. You know, that family dynamic worked very well in the film.
What does Ava's heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
This family is our fortress.
You know, Jake as a father is a much better character than he was in the last movie, if you ask me.
And you can see his perspective now.
Yeah, you really can.
You can see like his reasoning, like whenever he goes to this new tribe and he's with his kids, he's like, yo, y'all stop up. You know what I'm saying?
These kids about to drive something crazy, man. Almost every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes, he's always talking to these kids. What'd I tell you?
I know, yes.
Why y'all pissing off these water people? Their mom's like, God damn, we just got here and they about to kick us out. Will y'all stop acting crazy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I almost felt bad for Sully over here.
But I liked him so much better in this movie.
I did too.
Than I did in the first.
And even though I like him as a father, I will say that little kid that's being all angsty because, you know, daddy don't love me as much as you, or why daddy was picking on me. Man, Sully was a little hard on that boy.
I mean, come on, man. You see your big brother, like, following his footsteps.
But you don't look at, man, look, you don't take what the equivalent of a 14-year-old boy is and tell him, you shamed this family. I'm like, damn.
Okay.
I was like, man, back off, Sully, man. I mean, look, I know this ain't my kid. I ain't telling you how to raise your kids, man. But that's not cool.
Nah, you're right. Yeah, he did go a little hard.
That wasn't the only time either.
Yeah, no, it was a couple times.
It was a couple of times. Yeah.
When he's with those water people.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
He's like, what'd I tell you when we got here?
Will you stop making us look bad? And I was like, come on, man. I said, that's why this kid's out here swimming with whales and shit because you know, you are kind of picking on him there, you know? You know, while these are storylines that we keep hearing that we keep seeing with these kind of kids that you know, we've seen in movies before, the kids are not obnoxious, man.
No.
There's only one scene, and it ain't Sully's kids, It's some damn water kids.
Oh, the other boys.
Man, there was one thing I was like, this is criminal what y'all did.
Oh yeah, they try to commit murder.
Yeah, I was like, look now, wait a minute.
Yo,
I mean,
they went on scot-free too.
Listen, I know Jake is like a guest with these water people, but there was a moment I would have been like, what the f- wrong with your kids?
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, you need to get your kids, man. There was a moment I was like, damn, those kids, those some badass kids.
Yeah, like they really tried to, like, no bullshit. They tried to commit murder for real.
They like Stephen King bullies, man.
Yes.
I'm like,
maybe a little worse.
Yeah. Because at first I thought it was a joke, and I was like, y'all trying to kill this boy.
No, they was ooh-wee.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil nothing, but
Yeah. Like if Stephen King made bullies out of cat people, this would be it.
It's them, yes.
But they're likable kids because of that. Not those other assholes, but Sully got some good kids.
No, yeah, yes.
Zoe Saldana. One of the things I praised the first Avatar for is Zoe Saldana's. I think it's Saldana. Is her performance,
her acting performance.
As one of the Na'vi, and you know she's still good. One of the things that really made me feel for her, she brought the emotion by crying, you know, a lot. But I was like, damn, that's good. she sounded like one of them little kids.
You see Jake over and it's okay, it's
like,
okay.
oh shit. Shit, Jake trying to get laid.
I know it.
She's still crying in this.
Yes.
She's still crying her ass off in this, but I would say probably like way more than what she was before.
But she has her reasons though.
No, man,
It's not just tears to be tears.
No, they're not.
There's a reason behind it.
No, she has a reason to cry, man. Shit, they put this poor cat woman in through so much. She lost her damn mind.
Yes.
In the middle of the movie.
You see it on display. Yes.
Yeah, they drove her crazy. Oh, that's all I'll say. They drove, yeah. Like near the end of this movie, they drove her out her goddamn mind. I felt bad for her, man. If you thought she was crying before, she was crying her ass off.
But man, did she know how to act?
She did.
Oh my God.
She was great.
Yes.
No, she's still great here. She's still great. I mean, she's really taking this performance and just, you know, and after all these years, she still gets this character. She fell right back into place, just naturally in flow with this character, man. And and it's like she's been there the whole time. And probably I would say you feel for her even more. Because like I said,
yes.
they drove her insane, man. Mm-hmm. Shit, I thought she needed some better help, man. Yeah, I was like, get this girl some therapy, man. She's gonna need it by the end of this, man. But when they drove her crazy, I was like, damn. Yes, people. Oh, let me see here, y'all. It is that time, y'all. It is that time. You know, I gotta hit you with it. Oh, people. Yes, people, this segment is brought to you by BetterHelp. And take a moment to get a word from my sponsor right here. So, you've heard me talk about BetterHelp before, but the thing with BetterHelp is that a lot of people still think that going to BetterHelp or going to any kind of therapy, you know, that's for people who have, deep emotional problems. Some people even get offensive with, that's for crazy people. You'd be surprised at how mainstream therapy is today, man. And it's not just, yes, it is for those deep emotional problems that you might have. It is definitely for that. But a lot of people don't understand the areas that therapy can extend to. You know, with therapy, you know, the thing is you have uncertainties. You know, you're in a certain emotional state when you're going through changes, even positive changes. Like maybe you got a new job coming up. You know, you got a new relationship in your life. You know, you got a new man, a new hot man in your life. You know, maybe you think, how did I get this? I don't deserve it. You know, I don't know what you're going through. But yeah, people, even for positive things in your life, maybe you need to talk to somebody. You know, and the thing with BetterHelp and the reason why that's a good place to go is because over there, They have therapists who are trained to talk about these challenging places in your life with your emotions. They have 3 million people that have teamed up with these licensed therapists, have gone to them with very positive results. And the reason why they have so many people is because, listen, I know back in my day, going to therapy, if it wasn't something that people felt weird about or uncomfortable about, it was just inconvenient. You had to get in the car and drive somewhere. You had to, and even though you need to talk to somebody, you just didn't feel like being there in a room with someone. It just wasn't for you. That's why with BetterHelp, you can do this online and you can do video calls or phone calls. That depends on you. Either way, you're going to have people who are available to help you out with your coping skills, empower your life better. And yes, if you are dealing with something traumatic in your life, they're there to help with that. And as I mentioned, if you just want to organize, that's what it's there for too. But let's get down to the big thing that's going to push you to take this. It's affordable.
That boss, how much is it going to cost me?
I know you're cheap. You're cheap ass. I know what you're saying. Yes, but it's affordable. Now, all you got to do is take the first step. What you need to do is that you need to go online. You need to fill out a very brief questionnaire that's going to be able to match you up with a therapist that can help you out. And hey, even if that therapist isn't working, you can easily switch to another one. You got choices. And as I said, convenience is a big factor here. I'm going to make it even more affordable for you. You go over to betterhelp.com/doubletoasted. You're going to get 10% off your first month. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show. And of course, I want to thank all of you out there for helping us with your support. Thank you very much. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it here with some other characters. We've been talking about the Sully family, which pretty much we've been talking about the water people. We've been talking about the good guys.
Yes. How about them bad guys?
Boy, how about them bad guys out there? Can't have a movie unless you got a bad guy, something to go against, at least for a movie like this. Yeah, boy, let's talk about the bad guys over here. But before we get into this bad guy right here, okay, so the villains in this movie, they're still flat.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Stephen Lang as an actor. Stephen Lang, he's an amazing actor. He's an amazing actor, but when I saw him in the first movie, he, as much of it as an amazing actor he is, and he is amazing in this movie, but his character's just flat.
You don't give him much to do. He's one note.
Yeah, that one note is evil.
Yes.
That's it. He's just evil. The villains are still flat, if you ask me. But they work. Why? Because you hate them.
Yeah.
I hated these motherfuckers. I couldn't stand them. James Cameron does a great job at that right there. He does a great job with making the humans. See, this is what's really cool about this movie. It was a theme that they had in the first film, but this movie really pushes that the humans are the alien invaders. Mm-hmm. They call
them the sky people.
The sky people, but we're the invaders. Normally when you watch a movie, it's the aliens invading us, and they're the bad guys. Here, we are those aliens. Mm-hmm. We're the bad people. We're the terrorists. It's all the Na'vi story.
Yes.
And the humans, as I said before, the humans are just assholes, man. I'll put myself in there. I ain't no better. I ain't shit either. We're just there to destroy shit.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like there's a way that you can make it more peaceful, but they just all that.
No, they didn't even. No, you're right about that.
They didn't even try.
They didn't explore no other options at all. They said, hell, and I can kind of understand it. They said, we tried to talk to them before, and they fought us. So that we coming down full force. The thing with these humans, man, like I said, we're just there to destroy shit. The movie starts out with us tearing shit up.
The humans are returning. They're hunting us.
What's our plan?
The moment that we land on Pandora, before we even get off the spaceship, we haven't even touched the ground. and we blowing up half the planet.
It sure was.
We killed half the population there before we even got off the ship. They're like, God damn, we really were there to just destroy. And James Cameron does not hold back with that, man. You know, he does not hold back on showing the destruction, the cold-hearted humans that we are. We are just there to exploit and kill. It's gonna make you mad. It's gonna piss you off. You know, there's a point where you say, "Well, y'all just leave these cats alone?"
I know.
They ain't doing nothing to nobody. These cats ain't done nothing to nobody. You know, it's and it's cool to see humans have no redeeming qualities at all, man. None. They have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. You know, the thing is, and the reason why that's cool, because you're like, that ain't cool. They're down there just killing people. No, the reason why it's cool because, like I said, I would watch alien invasion movies where the aliens are bad.
Yes.
And even those movies, even movies where they're supposed to be the villains, there are movies where I say, you know, they only came down here to save the Earth because I side with them. You know, even though we're the ones mess up the planet and all the aliens are the bad guys. No, not here. It is clear.
Clearly the humans are the bad people in this movie.
Yeah. No, they are, man.
They don't even try to like be like, you know how Marvel tries to like, all right, we can see their point of view. Here it's like, hell no.
No, not at all. But the humans, the humans are not nearly as bad as these old racist ass self-hating Navi, man. Who were humans at one time. So that's what makes them bad. You know, they got too much human inside of them, man. Yeah. Stephen Lang, he returns as what is it? Colonel Quaritch?
Yeah, I just call him a Colonel.
Colonel, yeah, let's keep it simple. You know, if you thought he was bad as a human, he's worse as a cat man.
I know.
Because as a cat man, he's younger, he's stronger, and shittier.
Yeah, and then he learns their ways too.
Yeah, I won't say how he gets back. I won't say anything about that. But I will say this. I was telling you about how Stephen Lang was just a flat character in that first movie. And as much as I like the actor, I was just like, you know, I can take. I mean, the only cool thing to say about him is that he is that bad.
Yes.
That you just hate him. You want to see him get his comeuppance.
Yeah.
But here as a Na'vi, I think he's way more interesting, man. Not only does the character have more to do, there's a little more story added to him. There's a little more backstory added to him. There's a part of history of his past that comes in here and makes him just slightly more complex. And I enjoyed that with him, man. He's still not a deep character by any means, but he does have more interesting stuff here to do that play into his story. And Stephen Lang is just fun to watch, man.
Yes.
It's a role that's been expanded. It's a role that gives him more to do now, and he's enjoying it, man. I mean, that's what makes him so good here. You hate him, but he really sinks into that character, and it's so much fun to watch him in this role as an evil cat man. Stephen Lang is becoming this dude. If you need a badass evil old dude, call Stephen Lang.
Stay right there. How many of you are there?
Who you think? That's Don't Breathe.
Yeah, Don't Breathe. Yes, that's the first one.
Yeah, the first one, exactly. But mostly him and his crew, man. Stephen Lang's crew, Colonel Quaritch. They're just evil. You know, it's nothing much to those characters.
Yeah, it's like they when they're born, they're like, oh, we got to get Jake and stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to kill everything. Yeah, gets in our way. Between them and the asshole humans, you can't wait for them to get theirs, man. You see how they keep pissing off these Na'vi, and you can't wait for them to tear that ass up. In that last 30 minutes of this movie, that last act that they have here. So I was telling people, I said that this movie is a combination of a Disney family animated film and a James Cameron movie. The characters, especially with the kids, that's the Disney part. But that last 30 minutes is full on insane James Cameron.
Yes. Straight up action.
Yeah. James Cameron has, he goes full James Cameron because his direction is incredible here. It's the best combination of his greatest hits. Aliens, Terminator, True Lies, Titanic.
All in one.
All of those rolled into this one climax right here. And the kills are so satisfying, man, because you've been waiting for these bitches to get their ass whooped.
To get theirs.
Yeah, you've been waiting for these cat people to come in and beat the shit out of them. And the precision of the Navi, boy, Denzel said in Training Day, I'm surgical with this bitch.
Oh, yeah, with them arrows?
Boy, with them bow and arrows, they are surgical with that bitch, man. It was, man, to watch them be so precise with what they're doing, man, it's just so satisfying. Watching them go full savage Navi, on them, man, it's incredible. If it's not fighting, then it's these narrow escapes. Mm-hmm. So, when it's fighting, you're getting the best parts of something like True Lies. You're getting the best parts of something like Terminator 2. When you get these narrow escapes, that's you going through the sinking Titanic. So he's really taken all his experience over the years and applied them to this one movie in the best possible way.
Yes. Oh my God.
Now I talked nice. I talked well about Avatar, the first one. But like I said, I just don't know. I just don't feel it like everybody else. But this one blew my mind, man. Blew my mind way more than the first one. And it's such a, when I got home, I just kept thinking about some of the most fun part of the movie. Mm-hmm. There's even moments where it's so heartbreaking because I'm talking about the action. I'm talking about the kills and all that kind of stuff, man. But there are moments where it was so emotionally painful to watch some of the destruction here. That's one of the other reasons why I walked out and had to take a piss. I was like, I can't watch this right here. I can't watch them do this.
They'll blow up these places.
They are so cruel. I had to walk out. So you were getting a thrilling, action-packed, visually stunning blockbuster of a film, but you're also getting a lot more emotion to the point where, it shook me, man. I just like, I can't watch this part. You're getting a complete emotional experience here.
Getting a lot more heart.
You're getting a lot more heart, man. Everything that they talked about with Maverick, Top Gun Maverick being the blockbuster that we need right now, Avatar 2 is that blockbuster also, man.
Yes.
We are getting into like an old-fashioned, just, crowd-pleasing blockbuster film, but also giving us, while it's not always working with these characters, while it's not always working with the length, it's still delivering. It's 3 hours long. It'll be amazing if you can keep it up through the whole thing. But for the majority of this movie, you are getting the full experience, man. You are getting your money's worth.
Mm-hmm. I hope we're gonna talk about the character design of some of the people. There's a certain girl in the film. They know what I'm talking about. When you first see her, you're like, oh shit, like she's cute. You know what I'm talking about? Like these cat people done got cuter,
man.
And there's from the get go, you can see it.
We talked about that already, man. I looked at this cat person. I said, because I know that on the one end, that's not an adult, so I felt bad.
That's why I know that's a kid.
But I said, as an alien, she might be, 100 years old in human years. So I don't know. So I just like shit.
I know what James Cameron doing with that.
Yeah, shit. That's for daddy right there.
Man, look, I'm in there the same boat as you, man. I thought the first movie was all right. And I was like, I'm watching this movie and I'm like 2 hours into it. I'm like, I'm loving this film. I'm watching it here. I'm like, visuals. This is a movie.
Visuals, all right.
I know you see it. But man, if there's one movie I'll say go see in 3D, go see it in 3D. Go spend that extra dollars in 3D. The emotion this movie possesses is just phenomenal, at least to me. Because it's like like I feel like I said, I'm attached to these people, you know?
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of complaints here. I think my biggest complaint was just the villains of the film. I think they need to be better written because they're just completely one-noted.
They completely are.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, like, especially when you have talented actors. Stephen Lang, right?
Stephen watching too much basketball. Stephen Curry, Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang. Yeah, I'm like, you have an amazing, talented actor like him, and you only use him one way. You know what I'm saying? There should be more to him.
Yeah.
Now, I thought the way they brought him back was interesting because I'm like, he's aged in real life. So it's like to bring him back this way, it's like, okay, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that was with everybody too.
Yeah.
But look, like I said, there wasn't a lot of complaints from me. I'm one of the people, I know I've seen a lot of criticism out there, people thinking this movie is going to flop. I don't think this one's going to flop. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think this one's going to make his money back, man. I absolutely loved this film. I loved it more than the first one.
Would you say rental?
You know, I was actually thinking about this on the way here. I was like, all right, I gave my rating on mine, but I think it deserves a full price.
Yeah.
Full price.
Yeah. Big improvement over the first one, though. And I'm right there with you. You know, I wish I could go further and give this movie like a better than sex or something because it is so entertaining. But, you know, I did criticize it. And those were major things for me. So it is a full price for
There
me
you go,
too.
yeah.
Very
Full price.
enthusiastic full price though.
Yes.
Yes, this movie delivers, man. It really delivers. I mean, this is going to sweep. This is going to sweep at the Oscars, man. As far as visuals go.
Yeah, Best Picture?
I don't know about Best Picture. I mean, it could just because of the business of Hollywood. You know, if they want to reward something because it brought so much money in, or maybe they're trying to like do this thing where they're trying to nominate more genre movies to make it seem like, hey, the Oscars are cool too. They could probably nominate it for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And for technical achievements, oh yeah, this is going to sweep on that. It's hands down, this is winning for technical achievements. But for also the technical achievement that it's received for visuals, it could be, seen as a Best Picture. We'll see what happens.
I think that's some of the best CGI I've seen too in a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. No, it is. It is. It's everything that James Cameron was bragging about, he did.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's all I can say.
Yes. I think this movie is worth the hype, I would say. Definitely.
Yeah. No, everything he was bragging about, he was doing all his shit talking and everything, he backed it up. He did it. So yeah. After all that, go see it. Yes. I mean, if you are looking for a blockbuster movie and you're looking for something, hey, look, it's still sci-fi, it's still very effects driven. But if you're looking for something that's going to give you a break from superheroes,
go see Avatar.
Go see these super cats. Super cat.
Yeah.
It's funny because I found something online. I just say this for the end because it had nothing to do with anything. It's just fun. Something funny that when I was looking at images of Jake. Some there he is right there from the movie. There were some other things that came up, and I'll say, man, if you want one of the most horrifying Halloween costumes for next year, get a Jake Sully mask, man.
Damn.
That look like Michael Myers right there, man.
Shit.
Michael Myers saw that, he'd be like, nah. Or he'd be like, hey, give me that. Those are the most horrifying masks I've ever seen.
Hey, she can use that in the Purge movie or something.
Yeah.
Shit.
If you want to be confused, Jake Sully.
Shit.
Mentally challenged Jake Sully. Get that right there.
You go a new horror movie idea.
Look at this right here. What the hell?